Back on British soil, after 6 long years in an Iranian prison, it took just 6 short hours for Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe to arrive home last night. Welcomed by her delighted and grateful husband Richard and 7-year-old daughter Gabriella.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably a couple of days peace and quiet somewhere else, and then back here, the first thing she always wanted to do was to me make a cup of tea. So which we will do. I think actually we were looking at the house, so it needs a bit of tidying as well. So there might be a bit of tidying, perhaps directed by Mummy when she comes back.
The deal to get Nazanin back followed prolonged negotiations between the Foreign Office and the Iranian regime. But in the end, it saw Britain settle a $400 million 40-year debt for tanks that we sold but never delivered.
I pushed officials to be as creative as possible in finding a way to resolve this situation, and they have worked round the clock to find a viable payment route. We have considered and exhausted many options in the process, but I can tell the House we have found a way to make the payment in full, in compliance with UK and international sanctions and global counter-terrorism financing and anti-money laundering regulations. A sum of £393.8 million has now been paid, which will only be available for humanitarian purposes.
This is only part of the story, though. Iran has a new government, relations have improved. And the wider politics of Russian sanctions has meant Britain is having to look to the Middle East for her energy security. It's no coincidence that Boris Johnson is in the region this week. Iran, Qatar and Saudi Arabia may well be needed. But for Nazanin, this isn't about the wider politics, but the end of an awful nightmare.
At the heart of this story is a real human tragedy, an innocent family separated now for years. And as you say, an incredibly brave family. Richard has been on hunger strike twice. Nazanin's been on hunger strike. Nazanin and Richard are two of the very bravest people I know.
After 6 years, that nightmare is now over, and a family have been reunited. Darren McCaffrey, GB News.